Alright guys, welcome back to God of War 2. Last time we met in God of War 2, we just defeated Lachesis and Atropos, the Sisters of Fate, and now we are just continuing onward to... What the... Wait, hold up, I just noticed that. Can I look at that? The reflection was displayed... Yeah, the reflection's wrong! The reflection for the treasure chest is displaying above the What? Whatever. 3 travelers heading to an unknown destiny, the 3 wise men. Yeah, I think that's one of them. A lone soul. That's a prediction to the next game. But, yeah, we defeated Lachesis and Atropos, and also we did get to the Palace of the Fates, and so now we are just continuing on through the palace, because there is still one Sister of Fate that we haven't killed just yet. And also, Zeus is still alive, so we need to figure out how to go back in time and change our fate, so Zeus never, kills us. I'm overthinking this again, by the way. But, yeah. I mean, this part's actually just dedicated to just getting to the final boss fight. Yeah, I'm gonna say this now. This isn't the end of the game. Because, for one, we do have our God of War, like, in-game final combat gauntlet, that's, you know, usually towards, you know, like, last game, the final combat gauntlet was, in Hades, when, you're escaping, and Kratos is doing, like, his last bit, when, like, the platforms are rising. This game is, coming up once I figure out how to get these fucking chests. Threes, I would say, is during the labyrinth. I can say that now. Ascension, I remember, is that one pain in the ass sequence where it's after, like, you're doing the trials to get the eyes or whatever. It's like the final trial of the game. I can't remember what it's called, but I remember it pissing me off my first playthrough because it was like in a thin arena. And, like, on both sides, on, like, both walls, there were, fire emitters, and they would randomly fire out, and as a result, you could get killed instantly because of it, and I remember pissing me the fuck off. But you get the idea. Every Greek saga God of War game has, like, the final combat gauntlet before the final boss. Hell, even the... Oh, excuse me, Jesus. Even 2018 and Ragnarok kind of had those two. The entire Ragnarok sequence in Ragnarok is considered that. And, yeah, I overthought that. And then in 2018, I would say, is the sequence when you go through the realm between realms. Like, you jump off of the path. That's considered the final sequence. I would consider that the final combat sequence, and that, you know, or combat gauntlet. But yeah, like this one, I don't think I even get close to death. I actually speed through it pretty easily. Ugh, that is creepy, to be honest. I'm sorry, hold on, that is just ugh. It's just you know what I'm thinking of? The Resident Evil trailer for the movie that's coming out in, I think, a month. That's what I just thought of right there. Like, I'm thinking of the fucking Resident Evil trailer, where it's like that big fucking monster sitting in, like, I think it's the sewer, and it does like that pan shot. I wonder if Future Me's gonna edit that in, but like that's what I'm thinking of when I see Clotho in that shot. I was like, it's like a jump scare. I imagine, like, when you first played it. Me, I just laugh. I just laugh at that because first off, it is clearly like a 2D texture pasted. But alright, so let's actually talk about the final combat gauntlet, because this is the majority of the part. So what you have to do is you just gotta get through this entire section here. So yeah, you're gonna be dealing with pretty much every enemy that you fought up to this point, with a few exceptions. And you're just gonna go crazy. You just, you know, survive. There are no checkpoints during this. But there are no, like, official, like, save points or anything like that, but there are times where, like, they'll give you a health chest, or, you know, if you kill an enemy with a certain QTE prompt like I just did, you'll get health back, or rage and stuff like that. This is a really good time to use rage, by the way, assuming your controller isn't doing what my controller did, but I'm not bitter. But I get through this pretty easily, in all honesty. But, like, this is really just to show how far you've come. Yeah. And a barrier will pop up. And then when the barrier goes down, that means that you can move on to the next quadrant and continue from there. But it's really like they throw a lot of small fry and probably like 3 or 4 of the bigger version of the bigger foe that you've faced of a particular area. Like, it's nothing too crazy. Like, again, it's nothing that you can't. If you made it this far, it's nothing you can't handle. This is like an easier combat gauntlet. In all honesty, you know, just follow the basic rules of God of War. You know, don't be too stylish and stuff like that, and you'll be fine. And also, really utilize rage. But like, yeah, see how the barrier dispels, but then another one immediately pops up. And this is also, like, you know, make sure your magics, you know, this is another test to see, like, hey, have you been upgrading your shit? Golden Fleece, obviously, is your best friend if you can use it. I do love the soundtrack that plays here. Then again, I think I ended up trying to talk about the soundtrack last part, but I ended up getting distracted because I was talking about the boss fight. So I'm going to do that now. I love the God of War saga as a soundtrack, but I gotta say, my favorite has to go to 3. I love 3's as a soundtrack. 2's is really good, but, wait, how come she didn't freeze? Oh, bullshit! Oh, bullshit!
Let the rage of the Titans fuel your blades, Kratos.
Wait, what? I've never seen that happen. I've never seen it do that, where you do the QTE prompt to get her into the halfway point, and then you do the second one almost immediately. I've never seen that happen. I've never seen that. Ah, bullshit. They went right through the barrier. I can't do that. Oh, I wasn't trying to do that. I was just trying to deflect. Well, I think you can't. You can't stone enemies with the projectile thing that they do. Are you immune to petrifying when you're in rage? That's all they had to do to survive being petrified in the mythology, is just be really pissed off. All right, good to know. Then again, this is Kratos we're talking about. Kratos can pretty much do everything anything he wants, but he's incredibly pissed off. Especially according to God of War 3, Ragnarok, where he fucking heals himself with rage. Whatever. I always laugh at that fact. I don't remember if I ever used that one. Yeah, because God of War Ragnarok introduced, like, the different rage methods. Like, there was the regular one where, he just went crazy and punched everything for a bit. And then there's a one where he heals himself, like I mentioned, which is nice. But it's such a pitiful amount that it doesn't really do anything for you. The one that I hated using no matter what was the one where he goes in a straight line and then just, like, attaches himself to whatever enemies around him. I hate that one. I never use it. Because it's just too directional. I would rather, like, have an all-encompassing rage attack. Or, just punch everything. So this is like a little rest break, but then, they say, fuck you, get back to it. Like, what, you thought you were done? Dumbass? Honestly, out of all the combat gauntlets, though, I like 2's the most. I think 2's is the better one. Like, I don't mind. I don't know if this is just because I had a pretty good run of this one, but I didn't feel like this one dragged on as long as other ones that I've done. Like when I did my test playthrough of 3, and there was a point where I was just thinking, Jesus fucking Christ, this is still going. Like, I feel like I killed like the same guy like 14 times, and I'm like, okay, is this almost done? Because I've been here for way too fucking long. Like, am I doing something wrong? And then, like, there was just a point where I was thinking, like, Jesus fucking Christ, this could have ended, like, 4 times ago. Because, like, you have to kill, like, a bunch of sirens and, I forgot the other one's name. The guys that go into the ground, but 3 made him your bitch. 3 made him your bitch with the combat grappling. That doesn't matter, but like... Like, there was a point where I was thinking that a little bit. Like, I'm like, what the fuck? Is this still going? This one, there was a point where I just kind of thought, am I close to the end? But at least here, you can kind of tell you're close to the end based on the environment alone. I mean, you could kind of tell you were close to the end in, ooh, nice. In the original when the platform's raised as you were going, which was a nice indicator of, hey, you're almost done, just keep going. Here, you know, you run down and you see, oh, yeah, you're close. Like, once you get to the door, you know you're at the last bit. Like, you run down for a little bit of stretch, and then, yeah, I can see the door right there, but we're not quite there yet. But we're close. I can see it. I can see the last bit of the area, and plus you can kind of tell in the background that you're getting closer to the ground. That you're getting close to the entrance of Clotho's lair. Well, technically, or the loom chamber. Sorry, that's what it's called. But I just really like I like those kind of combat gauntlets where you can kind of tell that you're getting close to the end. But we are officially yep, we are now at the end of the gauntlet. But obviously, there is one thing that hasn't happened yet, and that is. You know, we still have a few enemies to deal with, and we have the last big enemy we deal with are Cyclops. My recommended strategy for this part of the gauntlet, by the way, this was always one that I always did, was try to separate the Cyclops with the barrier. Because for some reason, if the Cyclops is in the middle, if one of them is in the middle... it'll, like, if they're midway through the barrier and the barrier starts to come up, one of them will go behind and the other will go in front, and it doesn't matter which one. But I always try to separate the Cyclops, that way I could focus on just one at a time without the other one trying to interfere. That's usually my general rule when it comes to fight multiple Cyclops. It's just kind of separate them and you know, fight one at a time. Like, I have always used that strategy, and I've never really had any major issues with Cyclops as a result. Another good idea is to try to get into an open area where there's not many, you know, where you can give yourself some space, because the Cyclops, again, they take up a lot of room, because they're fat! But also with the Cyclops, you can't Golden Fleece for shit. And I don't know why I tried, but you can't. I wonder what those bones are from. Like, what the bones are from. Like, I'm trying to determine that, actually. I'm also trying to get rid of the small fry first. Get rid of the small guys and... I've always loved the fact that Kratos just punches him in the dick right at the beginning of the QTE. He doesn't have to be doing all that, but he just does it anyway. Then again, I actually just found out recently that if you fail one of the Hermes QTEs in 3, Hermes actually punches Kratos in the dick, and I find that so funny. I don't know why, but just the idea of Kratos getting punched in the dick is just... It's so stupidly funny to me. I don't know why. Because for one, I feel like Kratos would realistically, he'd just brush it off. He'd just, like, stand there like, why did you just punch me there, you asshole? It's like, why did you just punch me there? And this should be it. Yep, and that's it, and the save point spawns right there. Congratulations, you finished the final combat gauntlet of the game. So now all you gotta deal with is Clotho herself and the final boss against Zeus! I mean, we're only midway. Yeah, half of this part was dedicated to the combat gauntlet. A little bit of it was dedicated to me overthinking treasure chests, and I'm saving twice. I'm that paranoid. I'm like, no. I was like, I'm also just double checking and making sure I actually saved, because I'm not going through that shit twice. Yeah, so what you have to do is to open the door is, hit her hands a couple times, and then it'll raise up, and then she'll let go of the bar, and there you go.
Weaves the thread of life for every mortal, god, and titan. Find your thread, and you will be able to control the mirrors of the fates, the source of their power, and use them as a gateway to return to the time when Zeus betrayed you.
I feel like they just copy and paste whenever she says return to the time Zeus betrayed you. So we have a bit of a puzzle here. It's not a hard puzzle, mind you. What you have to do is we need to get up to the top and get ready to fight Clotho directly. But the thing about this area is that her arms are going to be all around, and well, you gotta damage her arms enough to where for some reason she just gives up and just rests for a minute. I don't know, maybe it's atrophy. I don't fucking know. I mean, I mean, her fat ass is just sitting there all the time, so I'm assuming, I guess it's hard for her to move her arms all the time. But if her arms are up and you're on the wall or something like that, she can and most likely will grab your ass and drag you back down like that. Or she'll attempt to. And usually you'll just do a QTE and then just, you know, and this one, Kratos will just do it himself. He'll just get back up. But you have to, I remember this area very well, because I did a test, I didn't do a test playthrough of 2, actually, which was really funny to me. I realized that when I was midway through, where I said to myself, I never did a test playthrough of this game, did I? Again, I remember 2, because I like 2 a lot. 2 is a really good game, but I was shocked that I remembered so much of what I did, because I was just like, wow, but yeah, I didn't do a test playthrough of 2, like, at all, when I was kind of shocked about that revelation. You might as well upgrade the spear, you never... Yeah, I upgraded everything I do use, and I'm trying to figure out, like, yeah, what can I upgrade? So, yay, I upgrade the Spear of Destiny all the way. But again, I want to point out that for some reason, you know, usually it takes a few seconds, you know, it goes through the, things slowly, but in this game, but like I've noticed that throughout this playthrough, it was just doing it instantly. Do I have to edit? I didn't edit out the boobs last part, so I'm not going to do it here. Like, I didn't edit them out last time. I'm not doing it here. But I guess I could talk about something else for a little bit while we just continue on through this puzzle. This part's not that hard. It's really self-explanatory in all honesty. You're just trying to disable her hands permanently, which is pretty easy to do. You can kind of see the answer up there. What to talk about? There's not a lot of topics right now related to God of War anyway. Because at the time of this recording, by the way, Gamescom has started. The only major things I have seen today is a new trailer for Final Fantasy VII Revelation, which I very much am excited for. I love the Final Fantasy VII Remake series. I don't care what anyone says. I love Final Fantasy VII Remake and Rebirth. I think they are great games. I know that people like to complain about the fact that it's not the originals and that they changed the story, yada yada yada. I don't care. I still enjoy it. I still like the new story. I like the new storyline. Like, yeah, I got a few criticisms with it here and there. My main one is, you know, they're going into the multiverse shit, and I'm getting tired of the at this point, I'm getting a little tired of the multiverse because Marvel and DC have been trying way too fucking hard with it, and you either with the multiverse nowadays, you either get incredible projects like the Spider-Verse movies, or you get absolute shit. Oh, this one's easy. I don't think there's anything down there. I think if there is anything, it's like a chest, but I didn't go for it because I didn't care. Oh wait, I gotta go the other way. Yeah, but you're just basically permanently disabling her arm so she can't attack you while you're doing this. And you're moving this thing to a particular slot. I can't remember what. Again, this isn't a hard puzzle. And luckily there are multiple times where you could stop it early just so you can... You're overthinking it. No, wait. Yeah, you are overthinking it. Am I overthinking it? There you go. But, like, if you're dragging this and her arms are up, she will hit you. And she'll knock you off and slow you down as a result. I know there is a way to get her to... You have to get her hand to hit that one, but I can't remember how you... I'm trying to remember how to do it. The sound cut out. I can't hear the audio. I couldn't hear Kratos or the blades, for that matter. That's where you came from, dipshit. Did she just do it to herself? Oh, no, what happened was... Okay, I see what happened. It reset itself. But then when they probably had a checkpoint or something. Don't I need to stand on that? Hold on. I know I did this really easily, and I said this isn't that hard, but I think I'm just being stupid. Because that lever is useless now. There's nothing to do there with that. It's like, I have the right idea, but I'm going in the wrong direction. Yeah, there you go. Because you want to move that to where it lines up on her hand, and then she just does it to herself, like, or well, when you hit her hand enough, when you hit her hand and it goes limp like that, she'll do it to herself when she gets back up. And then you can use the hand, you can use that rope to get up there. That's what I was thinking. Like, oh yeah, she does it to herself. Like, I was thinking, like, I knew I had the right idea, but I was just overthinking the shit out of it. That's kind of my habit at this point, is I overthink the hell out of stuff and end up taking 20 steps. Alright, so this boss fight, if you could call it that, this isn't really that hard. It's kind of similar to the Kraken fight, where you're kind of using, you're using her hand against her, and you can also drop bodies, like, right in front of her, and if she destroys them like that, you get a crap load of health orbs. So, really good if you're running out of health and shit like that, but... Like, what you want to do... It's like, what you want to do is you want to stun her, and I think what I'm trying to do is... I'm trying to, first off, remember what I'm supposed to do, but I'm taking a bit too long here. Is, if you see that climbable area right there with the vines and shit, that's what you're aiming for. You need to stun her long enough so you can climb up it, but I don't see the actual way to get up there, probably. Because I see it to the side of the barrier, but I'm not thinking to look there because I'm focused on fighting her. Like, I don't need the health. I mean, again, I don't think you should be dying to this boss fight, but then again, I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I suck at this game enough to where I don't remember if I ever died to her. I don't remember if I ever died here. And I'm talking like my first playthrough as well. I'm trying to think if I've ever died here. Come on. Yeah. So you need to... Yeah, there's me realizing, oh shit, I gotta climb up there. But the problem is that her hands are still... She has hands. She has hands. And she will throw hands. Or I could do that. I was gonna climb up there, but Kronos, you know, threw me a bone there. Kronos' rage threw me a bone. And I think you need to line it up to about there. So thank you for punching me out of the animation there. But I was about to climb the wall. I've never done that. I always climb the wall. It's like, well, Kratos owes his grandpa. Thank you later. You can see where this is going, right? Ah! She defended herself. By the way, I have no idea what the other what happens if you move the lever to other parts. Like, I don't know if like there's some sort of special rewards there or something shit. Like, I'm assuming it's like, hey, more health if you need it, but yeah. I mean, technically, I don't think the time statues are actually for the boss fight, but they're actually for the puzzle that you're about to do in a minute. To whatchamacallit, travel back in time and stop Zeus from betraying us. But I used it a little bit to... And... Goodbye! And that's it. That is the last Sister of Fate. She's dead. That's unfortunate. Well, you know, now that I'm thinking about it, hold on, I have to think here. If Kratos undid the events of this game with going back and stopping Zeus from killing him, does that mean the Sisters of Fate actually die, or... Oh, actually, no. Technically, I'll get into this next part most likely. With... I forgot that I didn't realize this. I don't know why. But, like, the moment Kratos travels back is right after...
The power of the Fates resides within these great mirrors. Find your thread, and you will be able to control the mirrors, and use them as a gateway to return to the time when Zeus betrayed you.
Yeah, I get it, lady. Jesus. What was I saying? But, like, when you'll see in the cutscene that next part's going to begin with. Yeah, by the way, this is the end of the part. I'm going to be a bit of an asshole and make you guys wait for the finale. Anyway, at the beginning of next part, we're going to see that Kratos comes in at the exact moment Zeus stabs him. Like, after Kratos is dead. So I guess technically he didn't really cause a paradox. Because I was thinking, like, if Kratos stops Zeus from killing him, then, like, that means that Kratos would... Man, this game handled time travel better than Sonic 06. How the fuck did that happen? Nice job, guys. Anyway, see you guys next time for the next part, the finale of God of War 2, and take care.